hit. They were out doing some vehicle patrols out in Nowzad, and their front vehicle had been hit. I think they'd left it, or they'd pulled off the vehicle, as you do, and got into like a massive scrap. I can't remember the details, but we got crashed out as the QRF, and we flew in on 47s. I remember landing in this field, and it's daytime, running off the back of this lifter, and we kind of like ran to this wall, and we all got down and sat next to this wall, and as the lifter flew up, mate, I just heard like the crack and thump, like literally all around.
That's your first time contact, rounds, two-way range.
Yeah.
Boom. How do you feel about it?
Mate, I just remember looking at the lad next to him, we just started laughing. Yeah, I just remember laughing, and it was, I don't know, it was that laugh in the face of adversity kind of thing. That kind of went into this huge day where we were just like in and out of contact. Yeah, it was pretty full on. I don't remember it too much, if I'm being honest, like the fine details of it. But yeah, there was like sections that were doing other stuff. I remember one of the section commanders, Prig, had gone like left flanking on this position, like done a proper like Brecon style left flank on this position, took these dudes out. But the majority of our section was pretty much just involved in the old classic like Afghan firefight, where you're getting shot at, you can kind of semi-identify where the rounds are coming from, so you return fire in that direction, then call in a load of air support and drop a load of bombs. I think by the kind of time that the day was over, we'd managed to clear enough ground so that patrols could get that vehicle back, that Wimmet back, and then recovered them, and then we flew back. But yeah, it was like the first
real kind of incident, teeth getting stuck in. Like, I mean, it's like every paratrooper's dream, isn't it? Which people watching this will find that a little bit sort of weird to kind of get their head around. But I liken it to any job. It's like, that's what you want to do. You want to be in these scraps and go out there and experience combat, don't you? That's what you wanted to do. So push forward on the tour. It became a regular occurrence. So I've read and so I've spoke to people that were there. Yeah. The kind of context just became a regular daily occurrence, didn't it? And the mortar being Morton and stuff. I did read at one stage it was like literally throwing grenades over walls to other people in Sangin. Was you actually based in Sangin then?
Yeah, we came back from that op, and then we were like the first company to go into Sangin. So I remember, I can't remember the job spun up because the governor had been threatened by the Taliban, I think. So when we flew in, we'd landed probably around a K and a half away from the governor's building, which is what turned into Fob Jackson. So yeah, we tabbed in, and we're wearing those old Northern Ireland body armours with the single small plate on the front and the back.
Nice.
And we didn't have helmets on. We just had soft caps on. Yeah, we occupied the governor's building, and there was this huge kind of Sangin bazaar outside. And I can't really remember the first couple of days, but we decided that we were going to stay there for whatever reason. And I think we'd put a couple of patrols into the town and village. Nothing had really happened, but we dug these makeshift shell scrapes. So just to put all-round defence in. And my sections was in this orchard, which was, I can't remember where it was. You had the governor's building over here, and then this side it was like another building, a separate building. So we had this like foot deep shell scrape in this orchard, and yeah, my section, or our section, was in charge of this side, and it basically looked onto this 6-foot wall, like an old Afghan thick mud wall. And we kind of sat there, and I think there was like a load of ICOM chatter that we were going to get hit one night. And I remember just like sitting up in this shell scrape, and apparently they said that they were going to hit us from the side that we were at. And they were talking about coming over the wall, and like they were going to shoot us and stuff, and like just storm this building. And I remember sat in this shell scrape at night, and Charlie Kerner, he's called, Wicked, he was like our section commander. Joe Stevo was 2IC, and those two like lit up a cig, and I was like, give that here. I was like, and mate, none of us slept. Like we literally the whole night like the whole section. We'd just rotate and just have 2 on stag facing this wall, just waiting for these Taliban fighters to come over the wall. And the rest of us were trying to sleep, but mate, you couldn't sleep. You were just on eyes on stalks, just waiting for these fighters to come over the wall. It never happened. Like, obviously we got through to the morning, and yeah, we started to like fortify more positions, and I don't know how many days went past without any scrapping, but I remember we built this Sangin position over on the governor's building. It was on the roof, and it was like looking out over the river. On the other side of the river, there's this road. And this one day, this saloon car with like white, like Toyota Corolla, old one, and this car goes past, and there's probably, I think, 3 people in it, 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and all the windows are down, and they're just like looking up at the Sangin position. And I'm in this Sangin position. You just look and you're like, something not right about that. And probably about an hour later, like the whole compound just got hit 360. Like small arms fire, wombat shells, RPGs.
Proper pre-planned attack.
Smashed, mate. Yeah, completely smashed. And I think I can't remember. No, that was another night where the 2 ink guys got hit. Actually, the wombat shell went through the wall into where the ink guys were doing the data collect, and just like vaporized. But yeah, mate, it was that kind of sparked it. That kind of sparked the start of that kind of Sangin conflict. And ever since that day, it was just like, every night, like the compound would get hit, like from, and I say compound, but we're literally in these makeshift Sangin positions. Like, we'd run out of sandbags.
Well, it was early days, wasn't it? It's before the Sangin that we kind of saw on the footage later on, when it was a fully almost fortified position with,
it was a full-on fob.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is like early days. We'd run out of sandbags, so we're trying to build Sangin positions out of sandbags. We run out of them, so we're using like the ration boxes, the big ration boxes that the ration packs come in, and just filling those with dirt and sand, just trying to make these makeshift positions. And we put claymores out. We had all the GPMG guns on all the positions, and it wasn't bomb proof. There was you could definitely get fighters through certain areas. It was this makeshift. It's not even a fob at this point.
The best you can do with what you got.
Yeah, and but it was wicked, mate. It was like so primal. Like, in the day, we'd go and wash in the river, and like go and swim in the river and stuff. And then,
because didn't it have, like, am I not mistaken, it had like a bit of a river running through it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like the River Sangin, probably.
Yeah.
But the river had run straight between like the governor's building and this other building. So, mate, it was like the good old days. Do you know what I mean? It's like you had your ration pack. You were trying new ways to make your ration pack taste different. You're on stag. Like, we'd put a patrol into the town most days. So if you're on that patrol, you were getting into a scrap. Some of those scraps were like massive, like to the point I remember going out, I can't remember, west or whatever, and we'd we ended up getting into a scrap. I remember at one point, mate, we got hit by this. We were kind of dealing with these 2 people, and we got hit by this Taliban patrol, mate. And I remember turning, like, literally we're stood in the open. I remember like hearing all the rounds, mate, and it's almost like a moment where it slows down a little bit. I've turned around and I've just seen this wall, and I legged it so fast to this wall, and everything's going slow motion. I remember seeing like rounds ping like next to me on the floor.